Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest podcast. You know, we sit down with members of the One Bone fam who are just doing it. I'm Adam, one of the co-founders. To my right, Sam, another one of the co-founders of One Bone. We got AP in the back. And today on the biggest podcast, the legend, Jamahal Sweet Dreams Hill. Let's go. What's good, baby?
Let's go.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man? I love the intro. It's always about the intro. It's always about a good intro.
Yo, you gotta be going with the intro. And listen, it's easy to intro a guy like yourself because you're a colorful cat. You make the people, want more. You are a comedian on the internet. You're a beast in the octagon, and you do your thing. And we catch you at a pretty interesting time because you are on the IR at the moment. I want to get into, your entire story, but I think right now it's super, obviously relevant. How are you feeling? You just experienced an injury. Tell our One Bone fam about that.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's kind of like the initial shock and the initial, oh shit, I'm hurt and all that. The initial emotions are pretty much past me, and it's just locked in and focused on the recovery, focused on making the right steps and doing the right things to get back 100%, most importantly. And then, as soon, you know what I mean? But the soon takes a back seat to just getting it done right.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. So we always talk about, personal life. We talk about triumphs. We talk about struggles. We talk about the things that made the guy who is doing it do it. So I want to kind of backtrack, and I want to know how you got into fighting, how you got into, the industry, et cetera, and kind of like where that all sparked as a kid maybe, and then moving forward. Like, where did it all begin for Jamahal Hill?
All my life I had to fight.
Oh, we got a Kendrick.
Yeah, no, like I was always into martial arts. I remember like the first few like martial arts things I saw, like Three Ninjas, Power Rangers and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I was always into martial arts, and I was always an athlete.
Yeah.
It's from the time I could, could walk for real. I've been in sports. I started out playing football. We had football programs down where I lived at. So started out with football and some basketball. And I was just an athletic freak. You know what I mean? Like growing up, I always had good size. I always had pause. I always had good size.
Hey, listen. Respect.
Yeah. There will be no There would be no slips in this interview.
Yeah, I got you.
No sir. We stay on point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that athleticism, being able to move and things like that. Yeah.
So
I was just in a.
And growing up, like youth football, basketball, was that the vision at first? Was it, to become, I guess, pro athlete in one of those realms?
Yeah, 100%. I always thought I was either going to be in the NFL or the NBA. Early on, I figured more in NFL because, football was my first love.
Yeah.
Down where we moved from, you could join a football team. You join your first football team when you're 5.
Yeah, of course.
So
same thing. I've been playing football since 5. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So
what position were you rocking?
From the start, running back.
Oh, let's go.
I was a running back. Now, this is what's crazy. My first season, me and my older brother played on the same team.
Yeah.
Right. So we played on a 5 and 6 year old team. We went undefeated that year. My first year of football, we didn't lose a game. And I had the most rushing yards of our age group, and then no touchdowns.
Really? Why?
I had a really bad habit of stepping out of bounds.
So what you were bringing it right to the end zone and then just stopping, or what?
No, I'll be running so fast. Like I break off a big play and I'll be running so fast and I'm looking behind me. You see anybody's coming behind me, and I literally would run out of bounds.
That's that first.
I literally did that shit like 3-4 times. The shit was terrible, man. The shit was terrible.
Run the other way, Jamal. Like that type shit.
Watch where you're going. But hey, It ain't my fault, bro. I'm pretty sure the motherfucking the dudes that draw the dudes that drew the lines on the field.
Yeah.
Something was wrong. Something was special with them.
The lines were crooked.
No, bro. One of the fuck you. Look,
nah, I'm serious, bro.
One of the spots, bro. The fucking line literally had a box drawn out.
Bro.
So it's like the line, and they had to make like a zone box where you could step at because they had fucked up the line so much.
Bro, listen, anybody who grew up playing Pee Wee football knows that they trashed those lines, bro. The end zone line would be like a curve. You know what I mean?
They ruined my stats.
Yeah, 100%.
They ruined my stats.
But you know what? The stats are looking pretty good right now. I mean, so we go to football, we go to basketball. What position were you playing in hooping?
Hooping, whenever I first started, I was like, I was bigger. So like, I kind of played. I played everything. I played every position in football and basketball. But basketball, I was like a point guard.
Okay, sick.
Early on. Yeah, I was a point guard, and as I started to get older, I was more like a forward. But obviously, I realized with my size in the fucking professional league, I'm a guard.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I went there, like I didn't realize how big those motherfuckers were until I went to like a college for my college visit, and the basketball team came out. I came out to meet the basketball. Bro,
yeah,
all these motherfuckers,
monsters,
towering over me, bro. There was one dude on the team that was shorter than I was.
That's crazy. Yeah, listen, that's garbage.
I'm like 6'3", 6'4" at the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so, you know what? It's interesting. We all have young kids, all the co-founders here at One Bone. And I know you're a major family man, and I'm going to get into that too. But what's interesting is, Sam sitting next to me, his son, 2 years old, like hammering hoops, like killing it. Another one of our colleagues here at One Bone too. So they're looking up how to raise athletic phenoms. You know what I mean? And so the interesting thing about you playing football and you playing basketball now, obviously you dominating the fight scene, is the idea of breeding an athlete in any specialized way. You need to broaden their horizons as a youth. You need to put them in football and basketball and get them to play all the different sports, because all those athletic components build into a specialized thing. Was that relevant to you as a fighter?
Because they are, 100%. Because all those things you have to work out for them. You have to train. You have to train for these things. I remember doing football workouts early on, 4 or 5 years old. I remember doing the basketball workouts. I've been running. I don't even know if you can fucking call them that no more. I'm gonna call it that because that's what we call it, the suicide lines.
Oh, bro, 100%.
Basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Puking after, for sure.
Running those. Yeah. I've never thrown up from a workout in my life.
Yeah,
I've never thrown up from a workout.
You were running back. Were you ever like the fat kid? Let's say.
No.
Nah, yeah. So
I was really skinny growing up. I didn't start getting heavier and like bigger, like chunky in the stomach and shit until like mid-20s.
Right.
But now that's why people are like, oh my God, talk about my body. I've had a six-pack for most of my life.
Yeah. True. Well, and from what I understand now,
now I got money. So now I got money. So now I figure I don't need the six-pack.
There you go. Yeah, you can afford the top shelf. Yeah. And also, not only that, but from what I understand, your size has become a part of your superpower in terms of like, from what I understand, muscle takes more to operate in the ring, right? It takes more energy.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Muscle takes more to move than fat because muscle takes oxygen. Right, muscle takes a lot of oxygen. Fat doesn't.
Right.
It's good to have a good source of muscle. Right, the solid source of muscle. But I found that having a little bit of fat on there helps me keep my cardio, keep my composure. Fight that lactic acid a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. And so, okay, so we talked about the youth. Then how do we parlay that into fighting, and how do you kind of start to crack into the industry? I know Contender Series and all that stuff, but growing up Grand Rapids, making the fight moves, like how does that look? I think KOP, right, is the league in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, but my roots go back deep further than that.
Hey, let's go.
With the MMA thing, so I started fighting back in 2010.
Okay.
I actually got this series coming out on my YouTube channel where I'm going to go back and watch the early on fights, you know, my amateur fights. You know, I came in, my first 3 amateur fights, I won in all of them in under 50 seconds. You know, so it was I was pretty natural. I was pretty natural right out the gate when it came in, but I always understood that there's a whole nother level to this. You know, there's a whole nother level. And I was always really real with myself, with what I was going through in a fight, what I felt in a fight and things like that. When it comes to learning, I don't have pride and ego when it comes to learning. You know, I think that's one of my biggest things. I can learn from anywhere. I can learn from anybody. I just wanted to adapt. I just wanted to adapt and learn, bro. So early on, that's what the main focus was for me. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So as I got well rounded, you know, and things happen in life, you know, it kind of took me away from the sport. You know, like I had more kids, you know, you start to think like, damn, like this ain't making the type of money I thought it was going to make. And then you got to think back in 2010, 11, that was before Conor. Motherfuckers weren't getting paid like that, bro. Right. You go back and look at the numbers for what people was getting paid for fighting for the UFC. They weren't getting paid like that.
Yeah.
You know, so there was that, you know, whenever I first got in, I started fighting at 185. So when I got in chasing Anderson Silva. You know, for me, I've always needed that greatness to chase.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So otherwise it was just boring. And that was the cause for one of the breaks. Like after he lost to Weidman, I didn't see who there was. So I was like, all right, the way my mind works, there has to be a money fight. There has to be a money fight.
Yeah, of course.
You
if you're looking to chase it as a career, it's got to be a career.
Right. Outside of Anderson Silva, I didn't see any money. I didn't see any money fights. Right. You know, and then John Jones happened. So I'm like, okay, we gonna move up. We move up, and we, you know what I mean, we reassess and we go after him. You know, then Conor happened, and then you could see like, oh, so you can get money in this shit. Right. You know what I mean? And once I seen that, it's like, oh yeah, we in here. I got away from it and ended up working a job, you know. And honestly, bro, I had decided like, you know what I mean, that shit happened for some people. It just ain't gonna happen for me. Right. Like I truly had decided that I was gonna give up on this shit. I was gonna get a job, you know what I mean, try to make the right investments and try my hand as far as like, you know what I mean, just the average guy. Yeah. You know,
so what was the thing that switched it from like, oh shit, I got to give this up. I got to take care of my family. I gotta put food on the table. What was that like one moment that triggered like, oh, no, we're going for this?
Well, I know now, don't get me wrong, bro. I still always had it in the back of my mind, like how I go to it. Because, you know, being young and shit, you think you got all the fucking time in the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of things that that flipped the switch for me. One of them was my brother passing. You know, when my brother Vince had passed, you know, he was the one that was like from the time I was a little kid and shit, he was the one that fed my passion for MMA. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the best I remember the conversations that I had. You know how you had a conversation about something. Maybe it was comic books, maybe it was sports or something that really drew you in. You had a good conversation with this person or this guy or whatever, and that interaction, like you had so much fun in that interaction. You wanted to learn more about sports, so y'all can come back and talk about it even more. Yeah, right. That's what martial arts was for me and my bro. You know, he the one put me on the anime. You know, the Dragon Ball Z. He gave me a bunch of tapes with like the whole Buu saga, like the whole like Cell, like all of that shit, Frieza, all of that shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So he put me on the Dragon Ball Z and shit, and that's what really put me. I mean, and that's what really got me. When did he pass? Shit like that. He passed in 2017. Crazy. Same year, earlier in the year that I went pro. Wow. You know, so I was just like, you know, and one of the biggest things that hurt was like I always had like these visions, right? You know what I mean? Like you know how you have these visions of being in these moments, winning the championship, fighting all these big names, getting these knockouts at this stage and things like that. But also part of that vision was being able to see my brother, you know, my brother getting a hug from my brother, being like embracing, and then us being able to have that conversation, you know what I'm saying? Come back and have that same conversation that fed that passion and things like that. And when he passed, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll never get to do that, you know? So that hurt. And then it's like, oh, I don't want this feeling again. You know, it's just like I said in fights, I'm real about what I see and what I feel. When I feel something I don't like, you know I don't want to feel it again. So I lock in on it to address it to make sure I don't feel it again.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing for that was stop bullshitting now and go after it. You know, and then I was talking to the manager. I've said this before in podcasts before. I was talking to the manager at the company that I was working for at the time. And I was telling him like, yeah, I was the top amateur. I was, I mean, I'm this, I'm that. I was the best here, best that, and I could do this. All those guys in the UFC, I could beat those. I could be the champion in the UFC and all of that. And he just looked at me like, bro, I ain't just trying to be a dick. Well, like, bro, pure doubt.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't trying to be a dick. You know what I mean? But like, if you could do that, you would be. You wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like basically like to me, it almost seemed like the thought of somebody he was an athlete before, of somebody who had to at some point realize that they weren't good enough.
Yeah.
He was trying to get me to realize that and come to that same realization that he had, you know what I mean? In a way it felt like that, you know? So I'm like, oh no, fuck that shit, bro.
We going.
I was like, you know what I mean? I quit.
Yeah.
I was like, I quit. And I left. I set up, I called from the parking lot, set up my first amateur fight. And we got the ball rolling from there.
That's crazy. It's always the list of how many people are going to say no until you can
What's
just.
Jay-Z's line? My uncle said I'd never sell a million records. So, sold a million records like a million times.
Yeah.
You know, how many people are going to say you can't do it? That fueled you.
Yeah. It's that. That's the recipe.
Yeah. It helped. It definitely helps, you know. And then like with that, the thing with my brother, I was about to have another kid. And then it's also like you starting to be a father, and you starting to think about like what am I teaching my kids, legacy, all that. Like, what do you want for your kids? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so with that, I'm like, shit, how can I just picture myself saying the same shit I just said to this dude to my kids. Right. And it holds no weight.
Yeah.
So it holds no weight. It holds about the same weight. And I would have rather like him, he just a dude at the job. You know, cool. You know what I'm saying? But my kids having that response would have fucked me up.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like it was time to get on it.
Yeah.
You know?
So okay, so let's move into family also, because you have
join you, by the way. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, bro. Let's go. So you are a family man, like through and through. You have how many kids?
I have 6 kids.
6 kids, man. It's a beautiful thing. And, you know, just scrolling through your Instagram and just seeing, you know, the love and adoration that you have for your kids. It's super relatable over here because we're a bunch of guys just trying to fucking do it. You know what I mean? Right. And the balance between building the career and also making sure the home is okay and the family and giving the kids the necessary time versus the career, the necessary time versus the personal self and all these things. You're at the top. You're at the top of your game, and it's a minor setback, in my opinion, to slingshot you into the next stratosphere when you come back. But how, like, you were also super young as a dad, and still are. How were you balancing, you know, being that epic dad and taking care of your family,
also being at the top,
and also chasing the top, and now being at the top? Like, how does that all balance?
Because we're trying to do it.
Yeah,
we're trying to be at the top.
Like, I mean, bro, there's nobody perfect. You know, there's anybody, myself included, that can have somebody that can say like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" Can point out where you could be better, bro. If you like impossible task in your life, try to be the perfect man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an impossible task.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be the perfect
said.
dad and the perfect man at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's like, you just got to do the best. You just got to do the best you can. You know, my oldest was born when I was 15.
Yeah.
You know, she was born when I was 15. So immediately my focus shifted to where it's like, all right, how can I be the most attentive to give her the best that she need while still making the most out of myself with my life, you know? And I had my mom. She kept her while I was at school.
Okay.
But whenever I got done with school and I was still allowed to play sports, you know, I came back and I got my daughter, you know, and it was dad time. And that was pretty much what my days consisted of. You know, she had times where she went when she was with her mother, you know, and but for the most part, it was just, you know, just that. That was what it consisted of for a while, and, you know, until her mom got a little older, and then she, you know what I mean, you know, she gonna get the custody.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Are you done having kids, or you still going, or you don't know yet?
No, so never say never.
Okay, respect.
I might have a couple more in me.
Yeah, I got you. I want to talk about, you know, your connection to One Bone too. You know, again, like we've been fans of you for so long. And to, you know, it's super cool for us. You know, we're 5 years into the game as well. I know that it's been around 5 or 6 years that you've been pro. And so like the come up is of the same kind of timeline. So, you know, we, much like yourself, you built your career throughout the pandemic. We did the same thing with the business. You know, we're going to get into your connection with One Bone, but how was the come up? You know, I know it became different once the pandemic hit. So what did that do to the direction and career and angles?
Well, shit, so basically, like, whenever I went pro, it was the beginning of my pro career was like some spotty stuff, right? Because Michigan didn't get sanctioned until 2016.
Right.
That's why you can't find a bunch of my amateur fights, you know. So whenever I went pro, you know, I had like a plan, pretty much fight the top dudes, the notable dudes, any dude that might be getting attention. That's what I was fighting. Yeah, man, but it was just months in between, you know, struggles and shit from there.
Yeah.
And whenever I got to the UFC, it was, I don't know, it was just pretty much just win at that point.
Okay.
You know, honestly, to me, I feel like I had more pressure on me on the regional scene and things like that.
Okay.
For like, you have to be exciting. You're charged with being exciting. You have to stand out in order to be seen. You know, you can't just go in there and grind out a bunch of decisions and think you're gonna get signed.
Yeah.
Right. So I was focused on being in exciting fights and finishes. So then once you get signed, it's like, if you want to you can still play, you can still have the exciting fights. It's a little bit more and things like that. You can go for it and try to get it, you know, and the rewards could be there. It could be higher and things like that. Or, you know, you can play it safe and you can just win out decisions, but understand that's a longer path to your end goal.
Yep.
You know? So it was more so like that, get wins. And then honestly, after the, I'll say, Jimmy Crew fight, to me, it was just more so about just winning. I understand how all I got to do is just win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to, I want to put on the show, but, you know, all I have to do is win. Yeah. And even so with that, the style that I've adapted from fighting all this way is exciting and it's all.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Okay. So you know, you've been rocking One Bone, and I guess it's been about like 6 months or so now. Talk to me about the fit. Talk to me about the gear that you're repping and just how you feel in the clothing.
As you rock that gray Sam. It looks perfect on you, by the way.
Named after the man right here.
Yeah, I'm Sam, by the way.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like the way it fit. You know, I like the outline. I like the outline of the One Bone clothing. You know, just the style, right? You know what I mean? When I get dressed full mirror. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just the One Bone with the curve, the bottom, the this and that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the bottom, the curve, right? I'm saying this and that shit because I got some shit caught in my chest.
Yeah, I feel you.
No, like I like the style of the curve at the bottom. You know, the slit on the side. It's just something about like the way it is at the bottom. Honestly, it don't show the curve of your stomach as much.
I feel you.
You know, I'm assuming that's what the whole fit was with that. But just the eye test. I go by the eye test. Whenever I step back and I look in the mirror with my fits on, these shirts slide right in there, and they slide in there for like, no matter what you're doing, like you just be throwing a shirt on and like go to an appointment, whatever. If I'm full, I put full outfits together with these on.
Yeah, of course.
Know. So bro. I like the versatility.
I feel you.
Then it's a t-shirt, right? I mean, sometimes you want to be in this. Sometimes you want to be chilling. You need the hoodie look, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a different zone. It's a different mode right here.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a different mode right here.
Yeah, huh?
But it might not be cold.
Okay.
You might be hot.
So what are you gonna do?
Then what?
Gotta rock with the shirt. I'm gonna be real. I really fucks with the ones with the sleeveless.
Yeah.
I really like the sleeveless.
Let's go.
With the hood. That's hard.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. We got more coming your way too. And you know, so I want to get into Sweet Dreams a little bit. I want to, you know, I don't know if these guys know.
Pause.
Yeah.
That was crazy. You want to get into what?
I want to.
We gotta say the right thing.
Yeah. Listen,
we gotta say the right things.
If we go viral on the internet for that,
I said that at the beginning of the interview. We gotta be on point with these.
We gotta be on point.
Whoa!
You never know who's gonna clip you up how for sure.
Whatever question you was gonna ask me, I feel like he should ask it now.
Yeah. Go ahead. The name. I don't know if these guys know where it comes from, so let the people know.
Sweet Dreams?
Yeah, Sweet Dreams, baby.
I mean, you know, they call me Sweet Dreams, but I'm really a nightmare.
A beautiful nightmare?
Nah, I'm just a nightmare. Yeah, no, but that is where it came from, though.
Yeah.
I like that. I was my first amateur fight, right? It was about 2 hours away. It's my first time ever cutting weight, ever doing, because like I played basketball, right?
Yeah.
So basketball was during wrestling season. We didn't cut weight. But I remember when I heard about cutting weight for the first time, I was like,
how much were you cutting?
Y'all. Shit. I was cutting 185. I wasn't no more than like between 195, 205. So about 10 to 15 pounds. But I had like 4% body fat. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So like I didn't have it to lose for real anywhere.
Yeah.
And the weigh-ins were day of weigh-ins. So we had the weigh-ins the day of the fight. So I went up there. I remember they had me spitting in a bottle.
Yo.
Right? Yeah,
just
spitting
saliva.
in a bottle. Yeah, your saliva, so that you actually can lose like a pound or two from spitting.
Oh,
just from spitting.
God.
But yeah, like you could float a couple pounds, so like you like chew gum, right? And like you, instead of like swallow, you just keep spitting. And then you keep spitting, bro. And you literally can drop weight doing that shit.
It's crazy.
So I did that the whole way there. We got there, I weighed in, and I think we went to, was it Quiznos? I think we went to Quiznos, bro.
Yeah.
I had that little prime rib, the prime rib sub. And that motherfucker was busted. That was the first time I had that.
Wow.
It was good. It was good. I remember that too. You know, so we go back, we at the stadium. They give you paperwork. So you start filling out the paperwork and it says fight name.
Right.
So I'm like,
Wow. On the spot.
I don't have one.
Right.
Wow.
You know, and like me, like I'm sitting there for a minute, and like one of my teammates, he came up, he can't think of what his fight name gonna be, you know, and then like the song that came on, and he was like, "You should be Sweet Dreams."
That's
I was like, Sweet Dreams. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't like that shit at first,
Right.
bro.
Wow.
I ain't like that shit at first. I'm like, it's a girl song and shit. I'm thinking he trying to be funny and shit. He probably was, you know what I mean? But I'm like, fuck it, I put that shit down.
Wow.
And then I went in and knocked the dude out cold in like 46 seconds. So it kind of made
Sweet
sense.
dreams.
They was like, because I got to the back, like, Sweet Dreams.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, we're gonna keep that.
Yeah, I feel you. That's crazy, man.
Cool.
So I was speaking to another member of the One Bone fam, a huge fan of yours as well. You've actually spoken to him. He does a podcast too. This guy, Spencer Kite. I don't know if you remember him, but
I do a lot of
yeah, I know.
Keyboard
anyway,
samurai.
he basically he wanted to know what the recovery timeline is. When do we see Jamahal Hill get back in the ring, the octagon, and make shit happen?
We all want to know.
Man, my biggest hope is May.
Okay.
May. I'm looking at May. I think that's like what the doctors and everybody is thinking. Is thinking May for if I like with a significant showing of improvement and things, it could maybe March.
Right.
Maybe I wouldn't put a hard like on that, but it's a possibility. But yeah, for the most part, I think we're looking at between March to May.
And I've seen you post on Instagram the Mamba mentality and you know, relating to, I guess, like Kobe and major athletes that have gone through it in the past. What's the mental state, you know, I guess when it first happens? Now you're a month after surgery, about like where are you at right now, and what's the mental game that you're playing?
Yeah, you know, I seen the Kobe thing. Like, you know, Kobe ruptured his Achilles. He's like a couple of years older than I am.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you know, the video, whenever I saw, you know, it was like about the post that he had made when he was just up thinking in his own head and things like that. You know, you just attack it that way. You know,
Yeah.
relentless hard work and just dedication to coming back better than you were before. You know, whenever it first originally happened, I didn't know my Achilles was ruptured.
Right.
I thought I just like tweaked my ankle. I kind of thought it could have been something. It was a possibility. It could be something like that, but I wasn't for sure.
Right.
Then it's just let's get it done. Let's get the surgery done. Yeah. Then the finding out the timeline and the vacancy of the belt and things like that, and just like
was that totally your decision?
The
vacancy of the belt, was it totally your decision?
You said what?
I feel you.
I got you.
I feel you. Yeah.
Tough one. Anyways.
Yeah. We saw your update, you know, when you ripped the mic, and man, it's just, it's a crazy thing.
I ain't gonna say it wasn't totally my decision. It was totally my decision to do it. You know, I could have kept the belt, but the alternative wasn't better.
Right.
No, it's the right decision, but a hard one, I bet.
It's crazy. Listen, the whole thing, I mean, what's your take? You know, everything happens for a reason kind of thing, or what?
Or
not
yeah.
Even? Yeah.
It's an angle.
Everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason. It gives me a chance to honestly sit back and kind of breathe. You know what I mean? Take a breath that I didn't take after I won the belt. You know what I mean? It's just ready. All right, I need to get on. I'm ready to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now I can take a look back and look at everything. You know what I mean? And make sure I go over everything and make sure everything's smooth. You know what I mean? Make sure I'm good at all areas. Make sure my business is good. Make sure my kids are good. Make sure all these things are good.
Yeah, I feel
you know what I mean? So
we're home stretch, but I just, you know, I wanted to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for collabing with us at One Bone, and you know, again, like, we get to catch you at a really unique time in your career where you're bouncing back from this injury. And to me, you know, I'm sitting here with like major fight fans. I'm a fan of the community of fighting. I'm a fan of the sport. But I also like get to like live vicariously through these guys and through yourself, like, who are really, you know, ingrained in the sport. So for me, it's just an interesting thing to see somebody so passionate and relentless at just progressing and moving forward. And here's another challenge and another hurdle that you just need to bounce through. So it's super admirable. We really appreciate your time and chopping it up with us. And, you know, we wish you the best on the road to the recovery, you know?
Hell yeah.
You want to hit him with that
I wanted
rapid
to hit
fire?
you with some rapid fire. Yeah, if you don't mind. I got a couple names for you. I wanted to see what comes to your mind. You got one word to answer the question, okay?
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yo.
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Solid.
Terrence McKinney.
Little brother.
John Jones.
I can't give one word. I get ultimate challenge.
Okay. Yuri Prohaska.
Funny.
Funny. Bradley Martin.
Who?
Perfect. Mike
No,
Tyson.
who's Bradley Martin?
You know the guy challenging everyone to a street fight? Bradley Martin, part of the Nelk Boys? No, forget it. Perfect answer. Mike Tyson.
Legend.
Elon Musk.
Rich.
That's what I was thinking too, man.
Dana White.
Boss.
Kevin Holland.
Blunt bro.
One Bone.
Fresh.
Go.
Crunchy or smooth?
Pause.
Talking about peanut butter. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Smooth or crunchy. I don't know. I just ain't like the question. We gonna pause.
All right, moving on. Indica or sativa?
Both.
Hybrid. Country or rock?
Depends.
Drake.
Drake.
Well done. Yo, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle.
Hilarious.
One or the other.
Oh, you got to choose.
There was an or in there, yeah.
Oh, you said,
Yeah, I said or.
Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart? Dave Chappelle. That's easy.
Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali?
Muhammad Ali.
Bare knuckle or power slap?
Wait, we talking about as far as they win or which one or choosing one?
Good question.
Maybe influence in your life or, you know, who you admire.
I'd say Muhammad was a bigger influence, period, than, you know what I mean? Mike Tyson is solid, you know what I mean? And I think what Mike Tyson has done and turned into and like how he talks and like about like his experiences and in the stages.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing is him outlining the stages of where he was at while all these things were happening to him in his life, or like some of the most important things and biggest things that we can take from him. But I think Muhammad Ali on just a scale of stance, you know what I mean, for socially and things like that. I think Muhammad Ali.
Fair. Last one, bare knuckle or power slap? Maybe
Power slap.
Do you watch those random fight leagues like the phone booth fighting and all that kind of stuff and sort of
I see like the clips.
Yeah.
I see like the clips online and shit like that. It's just funny. I get in the phone booth. I said it before. I could box a midget in the phone booth. I said it. I'm like that. I'm like that.
I pay to see that.
Yeah.
I'm really like that.
Yeah, man.
Jamal, when it's all said and done, who's playing you in the movie?
Good question.
My son. No,
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna pull up Ice Cube. I'm gonna let my son play
bro,
me.
yo.
Like launch his career.
Nobody else could have done it.
There you go.
Nobody else could have done it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the play. Plus, put the kid on. Why not? You know? That's hype. Man, that's a wrap, baby. Jamahal Hill, thank you so much for spending the time with us, rocking with us. People want to, find you on the internet. Where are they finding you? What's your tag?
My name is very unique. You should type it in on any social media platform and it'll pop up.
Yeah, you're right.
Jamahal.
Boom.
Bang.
That's it.
It's
You know
a long
the drill.
way to say Jamal.
Yeah, you know the drill here. OneBone.com. Get all your freshest gear. Jamal said it. It's fresh. It's just one word, fresh. OneBone.com. You know the drill. Sam, co-founder. Adam, one of the co-founders. We had AP in the back. Jamahal Hill on the biggest podcast. Thank you for rocking with us.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all, bro.
See you soon.